a better society?
Would it be someone who lives in the world of rich and famous?
Or would it be someone in the world of fashion?
Would the contributor to the society be someone with lots of power and fame?
Or would it be someone with lots of IQ?
I know that the grey matter between my 2 ears matters a lot. But will this grey matter help in making a better society?
So how does one understand this huge and mysterious race of humans?
There was a time when we had World War I and World War II.
For what? For land, for political supremacy, and for the sheer pleasure of domination.
Today, however, we have different wars, the materialistic wars.
Who has a better gadget? Is it a phone that brings the world virtually to your feet, or a tablet, Android, or an iPad? You don't have an iPad? How ancient you are.
You holiday in Ooty, I holiday in Sweden.
Your car is just 6 feet long, mine is 12 feet long, and it has 16 wheels. No matter, it may carry only one person, but I need to be carried by 16 wheels because I'm worth it.
Oh, this war of materialistic things. Where is this taking humans to? Our birthdays are in 5-star hotels and our weddings are in stadiums. Thousands come and go. Hundreds of dishes are served. Flowers from Thailand, laces from Switzerland, and chocolates from Belgium. What has materialistic warfare done to us?
Today we learned about the American and French revolutions, two different revolutions in two different places across the globe that brought our race liberty, equality, fraternity and human rights. But maybe 20 years down the line, we might just end up learning about someone who conducted the world's largest anniversary celebration.
Or about a birthday party with a 100-pound cake and a million gifts.
Today, the heroes all across the globe and the people we look up to are people like Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr. But maybe in 2030, we might look up to people who have 17-bedroom ranch houses in Sweden, or maybe someone who owns all the designer clothes from Paris.
Today, if you feature in the Time magazine, you're considered as a hero. But very soon, it looks like you'll be a hero if you feature on WikiLeaks.
Is this the progress that we bring to society? Is this the new era that we embark upon?
The era of material wealth, power, money, and fame?
What should one have the most in these times? Is it the PQ, the power quotient, the WQ, the wealth quotient, or the FQ, the fame quotient? Well, we as young people formulated our very own quotient, the VQ, the value quotient.
It is an interesting aspect to know about the value quotient because only when people have values, positive attitudes, empathy and tolerance, we would say we have people who have sustainability in thoughts and actions and can make a better society.
If psychologists and educators found a way to improve IQ, we found a way to improve VQ. That's why we preach and practice the maxim, live life the lean way.
When I say lean, I don't mean going to the gym and cutting down on your fat. I mean cutting down on your wallet.
Decipher. Decipher between the wants and needs. Decipher between what you want to buy and what you must buy.
I know it is easier said than done, but we managed to make it possible by starting a series of small changes within the world of our school with both simple yet effective measures and with the help of the most influential brand of our times.
You might be wondering about how brands come into this thought process, but the brand we use is much different than the one you see on TV commercials endorsed by famous Hollywood stars and cricketers.
Our brand is Brand Gandhi because what he thought, what he said and what he did were all the same. And that's why we too formulated our own congruent patterns. Instead of holding placards in our hands and shouting slogans, we started acting.
And the first step we took towards living life the lean way was conserving resources. By conserving resources, we zeroed in on our school community and noticed that lots of writing material was being misused or misplaced, or to put it in simple terms, lost. That's why we formulated our stationery policy. Let me run you through about how typical children use stationery. On an average, a 6-year-old might use 40 pencils for writing, sharpening, or biting. He might use 20 erasers a year for erasing, shrinking, or throwing, and one might use 15 sharpeners annually for not only sharpening pencils with, but also for throwing or playing with. Along with this, I'm absolutely sure that at least 10 sets of crayons and markers would be lost in one school year.
Not to forget the race and jealousies, the race for fancy pens, flamboyant pencil cases, and what not.
If one is low in supply in the upper quarters, one uses writing material to prove themselves superior.
And what is the result of all this? Consumerism, expenditure, and from a young age, children are taught to add fuel to the fire of wants.
That's where our stationery policy kicks in. It acts like a fire extinguisher, preventing child consumerism and expenditure. All our stationery needs are provided within the four walls of the school. That means nothing is brought from home. Everything, too, is of the same brand.
It might seem very simple that this is the first step we took to improve VQ. Morals of integrity and collective responsibility are developed within students because it requires on the behalf of them to treat stationery as class property. It might amaze you to know that there are some of us who use 2 pens and 4 refills for 6 months and 1 pencil for 2 months.
Don't get me wrong here. We do write a lot, but the only difference is we respect our resources a lot too. I'd like you all to see a video to get a lowdown of our stationery policy.
Since June 2009, we are following our stationery policy. The school provides all the stationery that we need. We should not bring anything from home.
We have learned to use a pencil till it is this small.
I have been using this pen since June 2009. I use 2 refills.
I am the group captain in my class. I maintain the account of all pens and pencils. It was tough at the beginning, but now we have learned to respect them as they belong to all of us.
Before this policy, many of my friends used to bring fancy pens and pencil boxes. Some used to feel jealous. Sometimes those fancy things were lost. From this policy, we all have same thing and we are learning to save our resources.
And if one looks into the financial implications of all this,
without this policy, a parent would have spent about 2,000 rupees or about $45 on each child. That would amount to a total expenditure for the parent community at our school of about $81,000. But after the stationery policy, a parent only has to spend 150 rupees or about $3.50 on each child. That amounts to a total expenditure of just about $6,300. That would amount to a total savings of about 3,330,000 rupees or about $74,700. To put it in percentages, that's a saving of about 93% annually.
not only money, material is also saved. Also, young people with the values of sharing, caring, accountability and collective responsibility are growing up. We, as citizens of planet Earth, want grown-ups who would know how to respect natural resources and use them judiciously.
But living life the lean way isn't just about school children. It also relates to you guys, because you're part of this beautiful planet too. It relates to your everyday actions, because everything starts small. One of my favorite quotes was from Sir Robert Kennedy. He said that few will have the greatness to bend history itself, but if each of us can work to change a small portion of effects, then in the total will be written the history of this generation.
Living life the lean way can also have an impact on the way we think, and so it can improve our sense and simplicity. Instead of celebrating special occasions with cakes and balloons, we celebrate our life.
So here we have young people from a very young age celebrating their birthdays in orphanages and old age homes, helping those who are not as privileged as them. Books are shared and plants are gifted, not only to spread information but also to generate new life. Our birthday garden is something I'd like you all to see.
Day is for celebrating life. So we planted saplings of silver oaks to make our planet green. Last year, I planted this tree for my birthday. Look how big it is.
What I'm trying to say here is that perhaps the solution to this mysterious human psychology is the value quotient. And maybe if we spread the word, we would have a society in which the 6 billion people are better off than today.
So go out there and make a difference. Be it in anything you like. Live life the king size. I'm not stopping you there. Not with just cars and clothes alone, but with thoughts and actions that make you worthy of living on such a beautiful planet. Live life the lean way and make a brand of your own.
Thank you.
Thank you.